Welcome to PTRCast.
Yo, guys, this is Zach from PTR.
Randy. JT. What's up, guys? So to start off today, we are going to do a sponsor highlight, also for the upcoming RetroCon 3 of A&M Upstate Games. You know them pretty good. What you think?
All right, guys. Little Adam, little Mike.
Little Adam, little Mike.
Lots of games, lots of cards, lots of TCG. Really cool guys.
So just to give a bit of a rundown on them, longtime friends turned business partners. Since founding in 2021, Upstate Games has grown from a shared passion into a thriving hub for collectors and gamers alike. So it's a pretty good group of guys to go up there and talk to. We were up there just today, correct?
I'd say one of the best game stores in the Upstate.
One of the best. One of the best.
One of the best.
It's in the name.
One of the best. Which I decided to pick me up another copy of Zombie Revenge for my Dreamcast. So I'm happy about that because I've been trying to track that one down. So big shout out to Upstate Games for having that one in stock for me.
They took our money. They took our money.
I took our money.
I took your money.
I was gonna say they didn't take JT's money, because JT's a horrible person.
I'm broke. It's tough out here.
So safe to say, you would say that Upstate Games is a big supporter of the gaming community.
Oh, 100% for
100%.
sure. Yeah.
So if you're ever in the area of, I guess technically,
It's Greer, South Carolina.
Greer. Okay,
Gert.
that's better to know.
Yeah, it's definitely like a full-fledged game store and TCG store. So if you like Pokemon, cards, video games, from old to new, they got it all.
Actual address, 104 D Middleton Way in Greer, South Carolina. So if you ever are in the Greer area, go check them out. They'll more than likely have something you're looking for. Also, the other thing I got me some Zap guns. So you need some Zap guns for an SNES.
Yeah. So you asked for a Zap gun. He's like, well, how many? So he takes a whole big tote. Boom.
Yeah. I said two, thinking like that was an odd amount. Like
Maybe he thought you said like 200.
I know, right? 'Cause I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, maybe he's only got like 3 or 4. So like he's wanting to find out how many I want, and so he just brings out like 50, and I picked 2, and so he's if you need a zapper gun for the SNES, man's got you covered.
They do. They do.
He also had some pretty sweet Pokemon slabs and all that good stuff, and so yeah, I enjoyed getting to hang it up there.
Yeah, their game variety is very extensive. So if you're looking for something, there's a high probability they have it.
Right. So then on to the next thing, still sticking on the subject of RetroCon 3, is we will be talking about one of our guests that intends on being there, one Mr. RNG Gamer on YouTube. Great guy. I had time to hang out with him. He came to last year's RetroCon. We were out there at RetroCon 2.
Yeah.
Had the opportunity when we all went out and had dinner and everything. He's a solid guy, and he's a guy who knows his games. He plays his games, and he'll definitely fill you in on probably some of the hardest games, some of the even upcoming hard to find games. I even remember watching one of his recent videos of even as up to date as PS5 on pointing out some of the games that were, before too long, probably going to be hard or impossible to find. Granted, some of them are expensive. There was probably 1 or 2 not so bad. Just if you find it was just a really good game that you didn't really know about. What's your take on Mr. RNG?
I've had the pleasure to play some Magic with him.
Oh, I got
He's
to do
play
that.
some Magic. He might play if you ask him. He almost beat me on my own deck, but
Well, I didn't know he played Magic. I'm gonna have to call him out when he's here.
no, he's a really great guy, cool dude. I would would consider him like a friend. He graciously let us come check out his place back when Game Jam South was at one of the shows. Then back in Huntsville, Alabama. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. Can't wait to see him April 25th. It'll be awesome guest along with a bunch of other guests.
And I know you really probably haven't got to have much experience with him, so
No.
I'm not gonna put that bad juju on you there, my boy. So moving right along as we keep on going.
Yeah.
Some of the things we like to cover is we didn't cover them last time, so I'll cover them this time. We got some games getting ready to, or have actually just came out within probably the past week. Just some that y'all might find kind of interesting. So Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake, which will actually probably be pretty solid for anybody who hasn't been able to get their hands on the original. It's going to be on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and Nintendo Switch 2 to get your Fatal Frame fix. So I know you somewhat know Fatal Frame.
The Switch 2?
The Switch 2!
The Switch 2.
Hold on. The Switch 2, JT.
It's a cool thing that's going to be on a Switch 2 because they could win a Switch 2 at RetroCon.
They can.
For free. Free entries. No gimmicks.
One
Just
person,
come by,
of course.
get an entry.
One person.
We also added to the app. So if they open up the app, there's going to be a lot of new highlights and stuff we put onto the app. And we're adding all the extra guests. And all the vendors are already filled out. So we're fully filled out.
And there's
Super
still more to
excited.
be announced on the app. So
There's going to be more
Keep
guests
checking.
definitely coming, for sure. Some more sponsors we're going to be announcing, but keep checking out that app about every day, every week to follow those updates and see what's happening at RetroCon April 25th.
So I've never been able to play many of the Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame is pretty cool. Have you played? You said you played a little bit. What have you played?
I haven't really. I've watched some Fatal Frame be played, but I haven't really actually played it, like physically played it.
Okay. I played probably maybe the first one longer than most, and the newer ones on the Switch. It's pretty cool. So you're going around in these like haunted areas, and you'll find like ghosts and spirits, and you basically like take pictures of them that kind of hurt or damage them, as you're kind of solving the mystery of your missing sister or something like that. So it's very unique take. It's a very unique take.
Unique teak.
In the horror genre video games. So I think it's pretty cool.
So it's kind of like Pokemon Snap, but for the paranormal.
Yes, yes, put that on a t-shirt. TM, perfect. That's probably the best way of saying
Paranormal Snap.
Paranormal Snap.
So like
TM.
like Phasmophobia meets Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
I like it.
So how would it compare to say, because like I've said before, we all know Silent Hill is a Resident Evil knockoff, but
that's on you. I did not say that. Zach from PTR does not. Whatever
endorse
he
nor
says,
condone.
Yeah.
In my chicanery. But no. So, but as far as Fatal Frame, how does it compare to like say the Silent Hills and Resident Evils, and I would even go as far to venture out and say like even Alan Wake and things like that.
Well, Fatal Frame is definitely more paranormal with spirits and ghosts and that style. Silent Hill is more of like in your head kind of thing, and then Resident Evil is like zombies and mutations.
So
3 all different, their own kind.
Just kind of like similar play, but each one kind of has its own unique kind of premise behind it.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Okay. So, and just in case people are wondering, I was even pretty young when Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly originally came out. Came out in November 2003 in Japan, December 2003 in the US. And so if you're somebody who's been trying to track down that game, of course nowadays has a high price on it for what you would consider a video game.
What is the price for it?
I'm not
Like
sure.
the MSRP for the Switch 2?
For the Switch 2, I'm imagining it's probably going to be like $70. Because,
That wouldn't surprise me.
Because JT here is our, you know how much he loves pricing of games and how they've gone up and how much he loves.
He likes key cards and,
What?
And how much,
Excuse me?
and how much he loves.
It's for the future of video gaming.
Yeah, gotta keep it alive with digital,
and how much he loves the.
It makes you wonder when like remakes or bringing back like the old games onto newer consoles and systems of how it affects like the original ones.
Yeah.
Some of them go kind of a little bit higher than before, or some of them kind of drop.
Yeah.
So like Sunshine dropped really low. I remember like it was going for like around 80 or so. It was getting expensive for Sunshine for GameCube. Came out on the Mario All Stars, and then now you can find a Sunshine anywhere from like around $30 to $50, give or take, depending on condition and complete.
So oddly enough, it's actually currently on an uphill swing for the original price of the
Is it going up?
Fatal Frame on the PS2. Complete price is hanging close to $120. So if you wanted a complete copy of it, $120 to get it on PS2, or more than likely the $70 you'll pay to get it on any other console.
I
So,
think the cool thing of bringing some of these games back that most people can't really afford to go get, even at 60 or whatever the new MSRP price is for the Switch and the new systems, it's now easier to obtain. I'll gladly spend $60 over $120. I mean, that's
right.
Twice the price for the real OG version.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to believe that with them remaking games that it affects the price of the original, because you still have a lot of people that are going to go that route because they love playing on original hardware.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So that one just came out March 12th. So just within about the past week or so. I guess I can't remember exactly what today's date is, but
Time's a flying. It
really
came out
is
2
fun.
days ago.
Oh,
So,
there you go.
Thursday?
Today's the 14th, so yeah, Thursday.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Interesting day.
So yeah, new release.
Thursday.
Moving along to another new release that just came out that people might be interested in. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. Also going to be PC, Xbox, Series X and S, PS5, and also Nintendo Switch 2.
Switch 2.
Switch 2.
Nintendo Switch 2.
Which you can get for free.
Not from us.
not from us. Not from us. So this one, not being like the remake or anything like that, so there's not really much to cover as far as, there being another game. I know there's a bunch of Monster Hunter games. I know Monster Hunter is a fairly popular game amongst a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I don't think I've ever played Monster Hunter, so I don't know much about it. I've watched some videos on it, and I know they usually got some pretty cool collector's editions and stuff like that when it comes to them. So that's about as much as I know about it.
I've played Monster Hunter. I've never played the campaign. I get lost of just going out into the wild and just trying to fight the biggest bosses and dying. But it's pretty cool from what I've played. But obviously there's a lot more to it than how I'm explaining Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I guess that would kind of be where we're going to go on that one.
Yeah.
The next one going to be actually just a PC release. That would be Death Stranding 2. So I have never actually played the Death Stranding games.
How do you say that when last week, you get like one of the hardest questions?
So
Well, I get the baby, blah, 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 but it's like...
yeah. So I know somebody that played a lot of Death Stranding. Matter of fact, one of my favorite songs is actually from like the soundtrack of Death Stranding, because Bring Me the Horizon actually had a song for Death Stranding.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
And also, like a lot of times, like I'll crash out with my TV on at night and I'll have YouTube playing. A lot of times I will wake up to Jacksepticeye playing Death Stranding on my TV every morning. Yeah. So there's a lot of times I've probably seen most of Death Stranding within like the 20 to 30 minutes I'm at the house in the morning getting ready, on countless, days and weeks of getting up. So I've had a pretty good chance to see a lot about it, and I should play it. It looks like an amazing game, because I've been interested enough to sit there and watch somebody play it.
I hear it's kind of grindy, a lot of walking.
I mean, we like to call it walking simulator.
But, I mean, it seems pretty cool. I just know Norman Reedus. I'll stand behind it.
He did a lot of walking in The Walking Dead.
He did a lot of walking in The Walking
Makes
Dead.
sense.
I mean, it would make, they were sitting at the table, like, guys, we need to find what's one guy we could use that can walk in a video game.
Right.
Norman Reedus, he's walked like hundreds, thousands of miles in The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Right.
Like 10 seasons. So.
And I've always been a huge fan of Hideo Kojima. I mean, I loved it when he was in the Metal Gear games.
Metal Gear, absolutely amazing.
I loved it when he was working on. The thing is, like with him, I think he did great on Death Stranding too. But he keeps on getting into the situation of like he'll show a trailer for like a horror game he's working on, and then you'll never hear anything more about it. I can't remember the name of the last game that said he was working on that was like a horror related game, and I'm sure I can pop up a video of it or something like that or a clip from it because I know the game when I see it, but it looked like it was going to be absolutely freaky, and knowing Kojima, he can definitely pull it off. So, but anybody who has played Death Stranding, it came out last year in June. So those of you with PC, and that's pretty much all you play on, y'all are going to now have the opportunity to be able to check it out and get it onto your PC so you can play the second one.
Where do you see the mods?
Yeah, that'll probably be an interesting one, needless to say. Next up, upcoming, well, and of course, in case I didn't say, Death Stranding 2 PC, March 19th. Next up, March 26th, Life is Strange Reunion. Now, another game I've never personally played. I've known of people that play it. As a matter of fact, I think I was watching a video over the past weekend that Monado Max is actually a pretty big fan of one of the Life is Strange. I think it might be the original Life is Strange from what I was saying from the video.
Okay.
But he's a big fan of Life is Strange. So, and of course, with Monado Max also being one of our lovely guests that we should be having out at RetroCon.
Yeah. April 25th.
So, if
Plug.
yeah, right. So, if any of y'all want to, chit chat with him probably about Life is Strange, he'll probably know a lot more about it than I would, and he'll be there for you to, talk to and all those other kind of fun things.
Yes. Yeah.
So it'll be releasing on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. You know what system they left out?
The Switch 2, JT.
The Switch 2.
Dang it. Switch 2, man.
So, but March 26th, if you're a fan of Life is Strange, that'll be coming out. And then the last one I got wrapping up on the list is also March 26th. Anybody who has enjoyed Super Mario on their Switch and thoroughly enjoyed playing Super Mario Wonder on their Switch, if you have a Switch 2, you will now be able to get the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Super Mario Wondering, Super Mario Wondering. That is what happens when you mix Death Stranding and Super Mario Wondering. But, so March 26th, if you have a Switch 2, then you'll be able to have what I assume will probably be a slightly upgraded version.
Yeah.
I don't know how much when it comes to Nintendo, but slightly. It'll probably be a game card. Probably won't.
It is.
Yeah.
You probably won't get the little to have with it or whatever it is. The little pebble.
If you have the digital version, you can buy the upgrade pack or whatever for, I think it's usually like $20 or something. But
Yeah.
I have the cartridge, so it doesn't really help me. But I'm not going to go out. I personally am not going to buy it again. I'll just play the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
So then I'll bust out a question here to follow up on all those of the new releases and upcoming releases. So on the new releases between Fatal Frame 2, Monster Hunter Stories 3, I already pretty much know the answer to this one. Zach, what would be your choice out of those two on the new releases? I'm pretty sure it'll be Fatal Frame if you had to choose.
Are you talking about the ones that just came out yesterday, the day before?
Yeah, the new releases, that I was talking about.
I have a feeling like Monster Hunter Stories is going to be probably a bigger. Fatal Frame is obviously. I would pick Fatal Frame.
Yeah.
I would go to the store and go buy a Fatal Frame over Monster Hunter, but
I might need to go get a copy of
Stories is pretty big and popular. I mean, there's a lot of people here for the horror genre, but I just don't know. I mean, there's even amiibos and stuff of Monster Hunter Stories, so.
I'll probably go see if I can get me a copy of Fatal Frame 2. It'd be nice to have. Especially if I ever decide to get me another Switch or something.
Yeah.
You, sir?
Anyone can get a Switch 2.
One
RetroCon
person.
3.
One person.
I said anyone.
I mean,
anyone.
to be fair, anyone can get a Switch 2
True.
at RetroCon 3 if somebody has one for sale. But only,
someone has one for sale.
yeah, but only one person can get a free Switch 2
True.
for just showing up.
I think this is just what we're going to talk about on RetroCon. It's just you could also get a Switch 2. One of you guys can get a free Switch 2 from us at RetroCon.
One lucky winner who does not leave the event.
You must play and hang out with us. Play some games. Buy some games.
You must
play
be
some cards.
Now, I will say, I will thoroughly enjoy to be able to see all of y'all's beautiful faces and not so beautiful faces, because we'll have our beautiful and not so beautiful faces there. I guess it's, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And, I don't know anybody that's beholding all this over here.
You can be rest assured that at least your mother loves your face.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, But I know you've played neither and probably haven't had much of an interest in either. But if you had to choose, which route are you going? Are you getting the horror that is Fatal Frame 2, or are you kind of going more of the RPG route that is Monster Hunter Stories?
I'm going Fatal Frame.
Fatal
I
Frame.
am just
Fatal Frame.
I am a big lover of all things paranormal, so
Yeah.
He loves me.
I would go the route of Fatal Frame. I've never been big in a Monster Hunter. Never played any of them. Never really cared to. So
Fair enough. So now we're going to move with the upcoming releases. So
Upcoming.
I feel like I kind of know where the answer may or may not lie in this one. So when I was talking about Death Stranding 2, Life is Strange Reunion, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, out of those 3 games that we got, kind of the bigger releases that are coming up this month, what is your thoughts on that one as far as out of those 3 games?
What's the biggest hit?
What's the biggest hit, and which one would you play out of those 3?
I think the biggest hit's going to be Wonder.
You think so?
I mean, everyone has, loves Nintendo and Mario. They'll re-get it again to have that nice shiny red case. I would personally want to play Death Stranding 2, but I gotta play the first one before I hop in the second one. So maybe it might entice me to go play Death Stranding.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest hit would probably be Mario and sales and just overall.
My boy.
I will agree. I'm gonna go with Death Stranding as well for me. Again, it touches that kind of
Paranormal in a way.
Yeah, that paranormal / apocalyptic kind of feel. So
It is an
that's
oddity.
more my route. I've already played Wonder, so it's not really like anything new for me other than, of course, the upgraded graphics. So, and I think they did add some additional like multiplayer stuff into the Switch 2 version.
Okay.
I think they are. I looked. It's not going to be just Wonder. There's going to be like a DLC that they're going to add with it or something like that. Do you know of a DLC that's with Super Mario Wonder or not? Or do they have one that you know of?
I don't know about a DLC. I just know that they are adding stuff into the Switch 2 version.
Okay, so the Switch 2 version, it's not going to be just Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It'll also be plus the meetup in Bella Bell Park.
Yeah.
So it's basically what it says is an enhanced, expanded version of the 2D platformer, which will also launch at the same time. So I guess I'm not sure if they would have it on regular Switch where it would release as far as like being able to get that as a DLC with the game. But at least if you get it on Switch 2, it'll also come with that little addition. I guess what is it? Have you heard of that in Wonder as far as it goes, or is it kind of a new thing?
it's like a plaza. I could kind of put it this way, where in like the Mii Plaza, the Wii Plaza and stuff, where your little Miis can like meet up.
Yeah.
It's that, and then they have like mini games like in that park that you can play with other people.
Okay.
And so what I'm seeing here also too is that a multiplayer hub with 23 plus attractions for 12 players, but also apparently Anne Rosalina is going to be a playable character.
Yep.
In the Switch 2 version. And then also, this is where we talk about the upgrades. You know, if your regular Switch version hasn't been enough for you, that you'll be able to play Super Mario Wonder 4K, 60 frames per second.
That's crazy from Nintendo. I can't believe I would ever hear the word 60 FPS.
Or 4K.
Or 4K.
Or 4K. But
right?
more so 60 FPS.
Yeah. That's what I think of when I think of Nintendo, you know? CRT. We'll be going from there. So, kind of agreed upon that if I had to choose, I'd say Death Stranding 2 myself.
Yeah, but Mario Wonder is going to be the biggest sell hit of March.
I
Guaranteed
think so.
it will be.
I definitely think so.
It's a household name.
You can't get around that one. I'm going to talk a little bit about PS5. We're going to bring some Sony into the conversation. And I had somebody told me to talk about Nintendo, and I talked about Xbox with the Project Helix, and that I have just abused Sony and not talked about Sony. So one of the things I have found with them that's going to be coming up is the update to their new PSSR on the PS5. And for those of y'all who don't know what PSSR is, that is PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. I know it's probably not something that's talked about a whole lot. I don't really expect a whole lot of people, except for diehards, to really know much about it. I can't even sit there and say that I knew much about it myself until recently seeing something about it.
Yeah, looking into this is an updated version 2.0 is basically what's being dubbed as.
Yeah.
And I have seen about they really wanted to implement it with Resident Evil Requiem.
Yes, yeah, it was one like the first ones for the 2.0.
Yeah, and I've heard there's actually been like an uptick in PS5 Pro sales since the announcement of this update. I can't remember how many games they said it was initially going to be compatible with at the launch of the new PSSR upgrade.
I think it's a small list, like Ghosts of Yota and a few of the other ones. It's pretty cool. I looked a little bit more deeper into it, running like a higher resolution at a 4K kind of, setting to give that like the more crisper, sharper kind of images than when you're playing through it.
And so,
but it's only for the PlayStation 5 Pro,
right,
obviously.
Yeah.
And so the thing I see about it is, as far as a lot of it goes, is people are talking about it releasing, and basically you're going to have some people that probably already have it, maybe, and then some people who don't. I did hear that they're doing almost like a rolling release of this many people get it this time, and then just kind of as they go, there's just going to be a group of people that get it slowly. So they're not just rolling out one huge update for everybody. So if you don't get the PSSR update and your friends do, then don't worry, you're probably just not up on that list with the rest of them when it comes to getting it. You'll probably get there eventually. It's just a matter of when. So I know there's not a whole lot to talk about it, other than the fact that it's just going to make some PS5 games look better.
Yeah, I mean,
you got anything else more to say about it?
No. I mean, it's cool. I don't have nothing like really more to say about it.
I think too, like, yes, that's an improvement for people that are already playing the console, but I think a lot of eyes are still waiting on the PS6 announcement to come out.
Yeah.
For them to see what the competition is going to be for Project Helix. So
that much I can understand. And I know last episode I talked they would probably put out a little more info as far as Project Helix goes. As far as I know, I think they put out a little bit more, but there's still not much along the lines of what exactly the specs can be expected to be. I know there's a lot of talks about, just kind of upgrading everything as far as, making everything look better like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll still fall back to the fact that it looks like they're just going to try to make a living room PC is almost what you could call it. Something you can have in there just to kind of have in there and, play your games and play your PC and, browse the internet and watch YouTube and all that stuff. And I mean, that's all I'm really going to hit about as far as Project Helix goes this week anyway. I'm really looking forward to kind of see what it looks like. And
yeah, I think we might get some more details as we get further into the year.
Right. So that's all I've really got. I mean, I know they had GDC this past week as far as the Game Developer Conference goes. I kind of browsed here and there through some of it, and there's nothing really major that snags my attention. I know they talked some indie games and stuff like that, and some newer pretty decent looking indie games coming up and around. I'm not 100% sure what some of them are. Like I said, I didn't dig real deep into what was going on with GDC, but I tried to keep my ears open as far as PlayStation and Xbox, especially knowing that there's something around the corner as far as both of them with consoles go. And then also, you never know when you might be able to catch Nintendo actually saying something somewhere about a new model of Switch coming around the corner. and see what happens with that. So, chugging right along, we'll get to something that we know, some of us know a little bit more about, and that's going to the retro kind of things. So we've talked about underrated games, we've talked about overrated games, we've talked about some of our favorite games, whether they be retro or not. But this is where I'll stick it. And honestly, I feel like I already know the answer to JT's in a way as far as the retro console goes. But N64.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, what is the question first?
so what? It's going to be like a two-part question.
Okay.
So what do you think the best retro console is? And by retro, I will even allow it to include, say, PS2 and Xbox 360. And that's probably about as new as we're going to get.
So from like 360, PS3.
Not PS3, 360, PS2 back. I'm not going to call PS3 retro yet.
But 360, PS3 right there.
Yeah, they came out together.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking, I'm sorry.
But
PS2,
but
original
also
Xbox.
you can't count out the Wii as well. We're old. We're getting
The
old.
Wii, I would
We're
consider
getting
the,
old.
I would consider the Wii fairly retro at this point.
At this point, yeah. So
Not the Wii U though.
No, not Wii U.
So
I mean, but yes, okay.
So
Continue.
we'll keep it Wii, original Xbox, PS2 kind of area, and further back. So I usually been kicking off to Zach on the start of this one. I'm gonna kick off to JT on the start of this one. What do you think the top retro console is? Like, what do you think the one is that everybody wants to play? Some of the best games are on, and things like that. Not your personal opinion on this one yet. What do you think everybody else thinks the top console is? What do you think the people in the comments are going to be popping out and saying their top console is?
It's a good question. I'd say it would probably have to be a tie between the Super Nintendo and the N64.
It's not a bad argument. But of course, obviously, I sit here and say that your favorite console is N64, obviously. I'm assuming that's what you agree with.
I do agree with that.
This is N64. So what is it besides Super Mario 64 that you, and I can even say besides Super Mario 64 and Zelda,
Okay.
that is there anything outside of those games that really just kind of makes you like the N64?
I really like the design, and you really got into a point where we started getting into how the console looks, like the different varieties of like consoles you get, like the Funtastics. It made everything more, I guess, aesthetically like pleasing and like fun to look at. And then also, the N64 was like a giant leap in gaming at the time because it introduced 3D gaming, and I have to say it, like Mario 64 paved the way for 3D, video games.
I can see that. So now we're gonna move on to Mr. Zach here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the popular console, and then we'll follow it up with what's yours?
I think the most popular for that kind of selection will be the PlayStation 2.
I was kind of feeling that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you think that's like the most popular in general, or is that also your favorite?
No, I think that's the most popular in general with game selection.
It does have a massive library.
Yeah, it's huge. A lot of great games.
Fatal Frame 2.
Fatal Frame 2. My favorite console, I would go into the handheld realm. I would go with the Game Boy, specifically the Game Boy Advance SP.
It is a snazzy
Yes.
little console.
Yeah.
The modability of it is phenomenal.
Yeah. Mobility you can get with it, bring it with you. You have Metal Slug on it. You have Mario on it. You have Pokemon on it. I mean, it's a great system, kind of grab and go with.
You could have bought your Metal Slug earlier today.
I've seen one, but I got the real one. So
Yeah, PS2 is solid. So, like,
It is.
And I know you've had them. Like, I know you've had it in your hand, and I've seen you have them. But have you ever had the opportunity to actually play like Rule of Rose or what is it, like Kuyan or
True.
whatever it is?
I've had a lot of copies, but no, I've never actually sat down and played. The only one of like the more expensive games of like the horror kind of stuff is Haunted Ground. I
Okay.
play that. Had fun running around screaming from the big guy chasing me.
I did see you play that one.
That was fun. But no, I haven't really had the pleasure of playing Rule of Rose because it seems like as soon as we get it, we bring it to like a convention and someone's looking for like that big game. I hear a lot of mixed things that it's a terrible game. Some people say it's actually not that bad.
Right.
It's overrated, underrated. I don't know. Maybe one of these times, next time it probably walks in the store, I'll give it a try.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because I've never, like I said, I've seen you have like the physical copies here.
Yeah.
And I've just looked at them a little bit as far as gameplay and stuff goes. But yeah, never actually got to play. Now, have you ever played Clock Tower?
Yes. I haven't played the original ones. Maybe I've tested the original ones, but the only one I've actually played was Clock Tower 3
Okay.
on the PlayStation 2.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So with me, I guess top console. I just try to think of myself the one that just. I mean, I almost really can't argue PS2 because of the library and some of the innovation it has, and I mean it took what was kind of starting to happen and almost kind of, I guess, improved on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm going to roll off with my favorite console being the Dreamcast. And as everyone always says, Sega being ahead of their time, I thought the Dreamcast was a phenomenal console. You know, one of the first ones to come out where you was able to get on the internet with it and play online with it, like Phantasy Star. And I think it kind of paved the way for PS2 to be able to kind of do what it did. And that's why I say I think PS2 kind of did improve on what the Dreamcast had. And I think some of the games you have with the Dreamcast, it was the console for fighting games, in my opinion. You know, that's when you started having with Virtua Fighter and, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom, Soul Calibur. I feel like some of your big name games were coming from Dreamcast, and that just kind of carried over. One of my favorite games, Shenmue on Dreamcast. Love that game. Now, granted, Shenmue's on Dreamcast, Shenmue 2's on Xbox, and Shenmue 3 is like PS5 and PC.
Are they all like exclusive to one another in this consoles?
I think that Shenmue, of course, the original one was exclusive to Dreamcast. I always thought Shenmue 2 was weird because Shenmue 2, I believe, only released on Xbox in the US, and that in Europe and Japan that it released on Dreamcast. So there's not a Dreamcast version of Shenmue 2 except for Japanese and PAL. And that's the only way you get Shenmue 2, and then they're both on Dreamcast, and here it's on Xbox. So that one I always thought was weird, because I can't think of any other game where that's, I mean, I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I can't think of a game where it's happened where, you know, it released on just Xbox here and Dreamcast over here. And
yeah, I couldn't give you an explanation of why. Part of me says, well, maybe it's because, you know, Dreamcast of the U.S. was kind of pulling out from, you know, from the console war. I don't know. It's some of these choices they make are interesting takes, but
right. And I'm trying to think what the other thing is too. Is like, I can't remember if it was with Shenmue, but having it where it was different consoles. I was going to make another point, completely forgot what it was. But that happens from time to time. But yeah, so Dreamcast, definitely my top console. I think even, and adding to when I talk about how like PS2 kind of improved on it, was Dreamcast, you could have the keyboard, you could have the mouse, typing of the dead, fun. I think if you want kids to learn how to, well, it's probably say horrible to say kids, but if you do want people like your teenagers and stuff learn how to write, typing of the dead would have worked miracles for me at a younger age, because I loved House of the Dead too, and I would have probably learned how to type a lot more if I was shooting zombies in the face while typing.
that's very unique style of playing. Yeah,
Right.
I would have much rather have had that in school than
Oh,
Amanda
man.
speaking.
Yeah, I would have never fell asleep in computer class.
So that's why I said I can't argue with you on the PS2 just being where it's at. And I think it's fun to see that actually all of us had different favorite consoles. I agree with you, though. I thought it was awesome with the N64 when they had the Fantastic consoles and releasing them. And I guess they kind of did it with
variety. Yeah. I mean, Nintendo's kind of always been pretty great with that. Besides, I want to say like the Wii U, they didn't really do much.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and that's like you sit there saying, handhelds and Nintendo, you could always buy them in different colors and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Fantastic N64s. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. Sega, I think, was trying to hop on that train a little bit whenever they did have the Dreamcast, because even though in the U.S. you only got one kind of, different version of the Dreamcast, over in Japan you had 10, 15, like 20 different versions of the Dreamcast. You can get clear pink and clear blue with Hello Kitty and the clear red with Resident Evil. And
yeah.
you can get a solid red one for the Christmas edition of Seaman.
Japan's more colorful. I mean, all their special editions and stuff that they got that we never got were more of a bland style.
Right. Now, granted, the original Xbox was pretty fun with some of the things they did, and to find them nowadays is almost impossible because those were always like the limited editions, like the Mountain Dew and the
yeah.
all that stuff. And I'm sure you get the same thing with PS2s when you had some of those harder to find, now expensive editions, I would call them. And I do think Nintendo was just kind of almost the forefront because, Sega Saturn had it a little bit, but not really much. Well, they do have like the Sega Saturn, that this is awesome Sega Saturn or something like that. And they had basically black and white. Was the white one? It was just Japanese version was white, and then I can't remember exactly how to work with the Sega Saturn.
On Saturn. Saturn's more of a lighter, like kind of like a grayish, whitish kind of off color, and then your US one's just all black.
Okay. So what was the white console? Was that something you could get US and Japanese, or was that just like strictly Japanese? I can't remember.
I think it's just strictly Japanese. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we ever got a different kind of version. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comics, but I don't think we got any different versions besides like the traditional black. There might have been some kind of special edition, maybe stamp thing, but other than that, I don't think so.
But I also agree with JT on the fact of that also N64 contains another one of my favorite games that I probably in some cases, people probably shouldn't have been playing at such a young age, but thoroughly enjoyed Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yes.
Probably one of my top N64 games that I would play myself. So that's the other thing. Would you say Super Mario 64 is like your favorite game on the 64, or would you say it was like Majora's Mask, or?
In terms of favorite, Majora's Mask would probably be my favorite. I have this reputation for Mario 64 just because I speedrun the game. And, like, it's a great game, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it did pave the way for 3D gaming. But, yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's just, when I got into speedrunning that game, it was the easiest one to get into. Like, the community's so vast, a bunch of people play it. There's always people building that game on the speedrunning side.
Yes.
So, and there's a lot of resources out there because so many people play it. There's resources on how to get into it. So when I wanted to get into speedrunning, I picked that one because it was the easiest one.
Fair enough. Now, I'll also add, I'm talking about like my Conker's Bad Fur Day. I was fortunate enough to be able to have like my favorite game on N64 also being my favorite game, one of my favorite games on original Xbox when you had Conker's Bad Fur Day Live and Reloaded. Also, probably one of the first online multiplayer games I played religiously. So, now I'm going to move to you because since we're on the subject, I know we've done favorite games before, but now we're kind of specific console in it. So, N64, what are you choosing? I mean, so we got Conker's Bad Fur Day for me. So, what you got on N64?
I have a game I don't think you guys would guess that it's on the N64. Most people don't know. It's StarCraft would be one of I have very few games in my N64 collection, like my personal collection, and StarCraft is right there with it.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
You would have never guessed that.
No, I wouldn't have either. Do you have a favorite PS2 game?
Favorite PS2 game?
I have a favorite PS2 series.
PS2 game, okay.
It doesn't have to be exclusive, though, right?
No, that'd be exclusive to PS2, I guess. But, yeah, something that was on PS2.
I really enjoyed the Half-Life games, Half-Life 2.
I was on PS2, yeah, whatever. You like Valve games, don't you?
I do love Val games.
Because I know you're a Left 4 Dead fan, and
Usually.
now I feel like I should know the answer to your favorite game on PS2. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it was actually just your favorite game, one of your favorite games all around, which was like what, Tony Hawk's Wasteland.
American Wasteland.
American Wasteland.
Play that with my eyes closed. Combo, triangle, X, square, circle, circle.
And that's why I sit there and say I have a favorite series on PS2, which was Onimusha. So I thoroughly enjoyed. I think they had 4 Onimusha games on PS2, if I'm not mistaken. There was originally 3, and then fourth one
I
came out
want to
later
say
on.
there's 4. Yeah.
But to anybody who also enjoys Onimusha, I'm also, which I need to look up sometime to see any more recent news on it, because they're supposed to be releasing another Onimusha for PS5, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't remember if like Sam Inosuke is coming back or if it is a new character. So I definitely look forward to that. And so, oddly enough, still speaking on the subject of top games, we're gonna bust into a bit of a list of top games that maybe, just maybe, we can agree on. I might even not necessarily go top 10 because I don't know if it might be tough for us to agree on 10 games. We might even just do like a top 5 list, and it's tough. And these are gonna be retro games, so we're gonna keep the formula of nothing newer than PS2 and the Wii and the original Xbox.
Okay.
And I guess I'll start at number 5. And I guess we could kind of go with some slight categories in a way. So something that I'd say it's kind of hard to do an order on in a minute. If you had to put a number 5 on a list, think in your head, it's hard to think in your head of 4 more to put right in front of it. But like, what is something that just, for nostalgia's sake, like something that you would kind of just grab and be like, God, this was an amazing game.
The top 5. That's tough to think. Put
One being like the very best.
Yeah, but
Well, we can pitch in together and like this is a collective. It don't have to be his top 5, my top 5, your top 5. So, I mean, I would pop, and you could call me crazy for this one. Crazy for a top 5. I just try to think games that like you grab it, you see it, you remember how much fun it was playing it, and when it came out. And part of that does kind of go to N64 to me for a little bit. And I would almost want to either go along lines of, and it might be higher on your list, but I do want to include Super Mario 64. As far as, maybe we'll figure the games out and then we can put them in order.
Yeah, we'll let the viewers put in order. So how about we try to pick 5 games
Yeah.
that can go in the category of the top 5, and we can go from there.
And I definitely feel like Super Mario 64 deserves to be in that top 5 list.
Should we also make a rule that these top 5 games, like say, 2 of them can't be from the same like title. Like it can't be like
Super Ocarina of Time and then Majora's
Yeah.
Not something, avoid having the same series.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Super Mario 64 deserves a place on there. As far as a top 5 game, I can think of another one, and this is why I sit there and say I have to agree with N64 a lot on what you said, because another game that I remember having so many multiplayer memories with, back before online multiplayer was a thing, and that would be GoldenEye 007.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to get into a top 5 N64.
That's because I honestly think that N64, and like he said, some of the games
It's had a lot of great games.
kind of paved the way. I mean, it was one of the first consoles where you could really break out and do 4-player, in my opinion.
No, it was. It really was.
And I think that's part of what helps it. Now, those are like my big 2, I would say, as far as N64 goes, if I'm going to do a top 5 list.
Okay.
I can definitely break out outside of that.
I'll break out. Going to the PS2, I would say Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a huge one. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
perfect for people that like the Final Fantasy style, but also Disney. It's a good mixture of both that has a really good blend.
Right.
I agree.
Amazing game, amazing storytelling, the music, everything is specific. I would say the first one is a good kind of like take I would put into it.
And pop off and sit there and say it's like Disney's Final Fantasy.
It is.
It is in a sense, but it is a really fantastic game.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So I would throw that somewhere into the list of going away. I could tell you probably an easy top 5 in 64 games for sure, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
it wouldn't be
100%.
hard. Yeah, but
No.
I'll also break out, and I say it would be a disservice not to throw this in there, and that would be Halo.
Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that hits that original Xbox spot, and I agree when I sit there and say Halo kind of. I'm not gonna say Halo paved the way for multiplayer, but it played a huge part in my opinion. It's one of the first times I think you really kind of got your microphone and headset.
Yeah,
and,
still of the time through OG Xbox and 360. It's one of, if not the biggest multiplayer kind of game in
100%.
that kind of area.
And I have a hard time trying to think of another one. I mean, I could probably think of 100 more. And it's hard to sit here and say that you kind of leave, like, do you leave Resident Evil out, or do you put Resident Evil in that top 5 list because it is a type of game that almost, I would say, paved the way for the horror games you see in a sense. I don't know if I could put it in my top 5 list necessarily.
It's
I do
definitely
think it's an influential game.
It's definitely in a conversation.
It's an honorable mention.
Yeah, I would say definitely like the original Resident Evil. The opening cutscene was super cool. Going into the mansion and all that. The kind of clues and stuff and puzzles you're trying to go through, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, but it's hard to choose one of those because a lot of them started in that era, like the PlayStation 1. And
Well, that's like, we could easily sit there and say, we already put Mario 64 on there, and you could easily sit there and say that, Super Mario should be on that list and stuff like
Okay.
that. But we're staying away from the
Hey,
series.
all right, so this is what we're gonna do. we're gonna set this list, but you can't choose another game from the same console. It'll make it easier. So we'll do with Kingdom Hearts, Mario 64, PlayStation 2, and then 64. What's another console, and we can put that into the 5 list.
So what's that? That puts us at 3,
So we did PS2,
which was
we did Kingdom Hearts,
Kingdom Hearts,
Mm-hmm.
and 64 was
Mario.
Did we do another one?
You did GoldenEye, but
GoldenEye,
that was
yeah.
still within the 64. Now you two can debate on that. Both great games, both
Oh, and
deserve
Halo.
a spot.
Halo.
Oh, yeah, and
I knew-
Halo.
I knew we had
Halo's
a third one.
Xbox.
So we got
Yeah.
Xbox, we got PlayStation 2, and we have N64.
I
That's
can-
3 right there.
I can tell you what my huge one is, and but again, it's one of those ones I don't know if I can necessarily put in a top 5, but I could put as an honorable mention. Is that I think Streets of Rage is an amazing game, but again, it's one of those ones, honorable mention. I don't know if it cracks the top 5. Just like with you, Metal Slug.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an
not
honorable
everyone's
mention.
favorite, but yeah.
But you know what? I do got a game I want to put out there. Oh, and it's on the original PlayStation, PS1. I think I would throw Metal Gear Solid in. I would put that one in the top 5. That's me. I would put that in the top 5. Just because I do feel like, not really necessarily open world, but I think it kind of paved the way in the espionage. I think it made way for your Splinter Cells and things of that nature. And just, I think it was a phenomenal game when it came out too. And I think it's blown up a lot. But that's an opinion I would have as being a possible game in my top 5, just for the sheer fact of, I think, of how big it was and how it acted. And also being a game that actually played mind games with you by, like, what is it? And there's parts of it where you're fighting like the I feel horrible because I can't remember his name, but where you have to like unplug your memory card stuff or unplug your controller or like turn the PlayStation on and off.
Yeah.
and-
I think it's like one of the boss fights, or
yeah, like
I know
something
what you're talking
Mantis I
about,
would say or something like that. But that's part of the reason why I kind of put that one in there, just because it was completely different than what you were used to in playing games. Now again, y'all could disagree with that one, but I would toss Metal Gear Solid in as a, because I mean it even still continues to this day being a good game.
I feel like in some shape or form, whether it goes on the list or not, but Pokemon is obviously going to be a big one.
But narrowing it down, not because again we're kind of avoiding the series itself
Yeah.
What game would be in that top 5?
I would probably go into the GBA era, either Emerald or if I went towards the Game Boy original, probably Yellow. But if I had to pick out of those two, I'd probably go with Emerald. Now, I was saying we don't have to put that into the top 5,
Right,
but
right.
I think even as a really strong honorable mention, that would definitely go in someone's list.
It's always
For sure.
It's always a definite possibility as far as that goes. What's that do? Put us at technically 4 games, I guess. Well, it's almost as mild to
Metal
make.
Gear Solid.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid and Pokemon, that would put us at 5. There's just a lot of really good games out there, and it is hard to narrow them down to like an actual top 5.
So here's what we do. We want you guys to pick your top 5 games from all the retro style games. Put them down in the comments. We love to check them out and see what your take is. I don't think we're going to come up with a top 5.
No,
we're sorry.
I think most of us could agree on 5, 4, and 3.
Yeah,
the 2 and 1 is where we're really going.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, there's so many great games, but there's also so many different opinions on games and genres of games that some people won't ever play or touch. Animal Crossing can go into a category.
Yeah.
Your Sims could go into a category. There's so many great games that.
But touching on that subject, I will say
Yeah.
next episode, great idea. We might even try to hit you with our top series in gaming.
We could talk about that.
Yeah.
Tune in for the next episode.
Right.
After this episode.
Right.
After you watch this episode, watch the next episode.
Right. And then now's when I'm going to turn to JT. We had our fun little questions and trivia last week.
We did.
Let's see if we can pop something off this week and see how good our viewers might be at answering some of these upcoming things you got going. What you got for us this week?
So last week we did poorly described games where they tried to guess what game I was describing. And this time we're just going to do some rapid fire questions for our other 2 hosts here. I would say some of these might be a little difficult to answer quick, but answer as quick as you can because we want to fire off, as many questions as possible. And, if there's some where just like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Why would you say that? And we can talk about it a little bit. But, let's see. Who wants to go first?
You won last, so you go first.
Winners go first.
Yeah.
Winners go first.
Closers get coffee.
All right.
Do we know how many questions there are going to be? Or we're doing this like a time kind of thing?
I'm going to try to stick to 10 questions each.
10 questions each. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna try to keep it to questions that can be answered fairly fast.
Well, by God, I'll
Are you going to time it?
I'll put the timer on, son. We'll make it
Rapid,
roll.
boy. Rapid.
All right.
You just tell me when.
All right. I'm ready.
I'm ready when you are. Start the question. I'll start time.
Better multiplayer experience: GoldenEye 007 or Mario Kart 64?
GoldenEye.
Franchise that needs to come back.
Franchise that needs to come back. It kind of is, but The Witcher.
Okay. Best video game villain of all time.
Best video game villain. I'm going to say villains. The Covenant from Halo.
Okay. That's good. Best modern console: PS5, Xbox Series X, or Nintendo Switch?
I'm going to go Series X.
Okay. Are microtransactions ever acceptable?
Yes. Depends.
What game world would you actually want to live in?
What game world would I want to live in? Pokemon.
First video game you remember beating?
Super Mario World.
Best game soundtrack of all time?
That's tough. I'm gonna pick an odd one for you. One of my favorite soundtracks is Metal Gear Rising.
Okay. Game you've sunk the most hours into?
If I go by what I've tried recently, Dead by Daylight. But if I have to go by what I used to, I would say Halo 3.
Okay. Most overrated video game franchise.
Ooh. Silent Hill.
All right, we'll stop. I think that was 10.
It was 10. I was counting about as we were going.
All right, cool.
We'll draw some ire at the end of that one.
All right, Zach.
It's like my favorite villain.
Are you
But
ready?
We'll do what we will do. Go.
All right.
I lost my time, but I'm done.
When I do the next question, let's see.
I think it was like 152. I'm supposed to lap it.
Hold on 1 second.
I don't want to hold on 1 second.
All right. Which mascot is more overrated, Mario or Sonic?
Ooh.
Sonic.
A famous game you've never played and don't care about.
Fire Emblem.
All right. Which game has the most annoying fan base?
Call them out.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think really well. I want to say this, but it's not true. RuneScape.
Okay. A game everyone should stop recommending to new gamers.
Mario.
A game that people say is hard but really isn't.
Tony Hawk.
If you
Or
had to,
Skate.
if you had to delete one franchise forever, Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed.
Wow.
You're right. Sorry. Sorry.
Is the Nintendo 64 library overrated?
No.
Has Pokemon gotten lazy as a franchise?
Yes. 100%.
Was the Sega Dreamcast better than people remember?
Was it better than people remember? Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't know. how
Very
many questions
underrated.
I'm at.
I don't know either. Ask him one more just for
All right,
good
we'll do
measure.
one more. Are indie games currently better than AAA games?
That's a opinionated question.
For you.
No comment.
Okay. I don't know if I can accept that, so I'm going to do one more.
Oh, yep.
Which console had the most wasted potential?
Dreamcast.
Okay.
That's what I would have said too.
All right.
I'll have to go back and watch this to remember some of my answers.
That's it.
So for those of you watching, go down there and answer those questions. I'd love to know. Matter of fact, also give us your opinions on some of those.
Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Getting rid of Assassin's Creed instead of Call of Duty is stupid. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not going to write it in the comments. I'm going to say it.
Who do you want to kill off in the next episode?
You might say about me because I brought up Silent Hill again. All right, well, I think that was a pretty fun way to kind of close things out. Now that we can end it with some people saying, "Oh, this person's stupid." I can't believe they said that. Which means, you did throw out that Sonic was more overrated than Mario was.
Yeah, I think I am putting a lot of heat on these guys because they're the only ones answering this. So maybe next time they'll have some questions for me. So you can hate me a little bit.
That's good. Well, they already do. You're a terrible person. I think I've made that very clear.
Yeah, someone in the comments did too. They were like, "You're a terrible person." I'm like,
Also, just go in the comments. Make sure you put in there JT's a terrible person.
I will put on record I do like Sonic.
Sonic. Anyways, I believe that'll wrap it up for today. So what I will ask is that please give us a follow if you like what you saw. Hit the little thumbs up button down in that little area down there. You know, leave us a comment. We like to talk to you guys and get your opinions also, and let us know what you would like us to talk about in the next episode, and maybe we'll cover it. So, is there anything you would like to add, sir?
Get yourself a free Switch 2, or possibly win a free Switch 2. April 25th.
A Switch 2, JT.
RetroCon 3.
RetroCon 3.
RetroCon 3.
RetroCon 3.
Switch 2 for
Free.
For one person.
For one person.
free.
Unless there's another one there that you can buy.
You could buy Switch 2s.
So, episode 4 will be coming up next week. So make sure you watch this one. Get yourself prepared for that. We will try to figure out what things to bring up. One thing we will do is we will more than likely get around to setting it up to find out what our favorite series are in gaming, whether it be retro or modern era. And I'm trying to discuss with these guys about trying to find something to give you guys. Yep. So let's keep this train rolling, and we will call that it for the evening. So until next time, see you later. Peace. Bye-bye.
This is PTRCast. Retro dreams built to last. From boss fights, a blast from the past. Game on. Welcome to PTRCast.